there, welcome to The Real You. This is Susanna and thanks so much for choosing to watch my videos. Welcome to video number 2 on dealing with persistent negative tendencies. If you haven't watched the first part of this material, I suggest that you do, since I'm explaining there the base of this work that we're going to do with this session. And if you did, let's start. Please focus for a few moments on this aspect which seems so hard to change for you. That aspect which disturbs you the most. Call it forward so we can look at it from close. Say out loud what it is. Sit comfortably and allow yourself to feel that negative pattern or state as it is. Whether you call it depression, anxiety, or sabotaging love relationship, whatever you call it, whatever it is, please see it for what it is, a pattern, a mental, chemical, biological pattern acting through you. And please observe your body and observe how this feels within you, and rate this feeling on a scale from 0 to 10. And let's start on the karate chop. Even though I have been dealing with this persistent pattern for so long, and it's still there, it hasn't changed. I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've been trying so many things, so many methods, and nothing really helped, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Please take a deep breath. Even though I've been working hard and I put so much effort into releasing this pattern, and still it hasn't changed, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. We keep going. Just please take a deep breath and be aware of what's going on. Even though I feel overwhelmed by this pattern, and even though to a certain extent I have submitted myself to it, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I see myself powerless when it comes to this pattern. Feel that. I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Take another deep breath and stay aware and connected to your center. Even though I take it so personally, and I believe that it is I who created it, it is I who have caused it, and that it belongs to me, instead of seeing it for what it is, a pattern. I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Take another deep breath. Stay aware of what's happening in your body. Even though I don't know why, how, and where this comes from, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I find it hard to accept that I've been used by this negative pattern, because I was not aware, because I've been conditioned not to see. because some other patterns in me didn't want me to say. I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I find it disturbing to accept the idea that there are patterns working through me, manifesting through me. And so I prefer to get some identity from these negative states. I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Take another deep breath. Stay aware of what's happening. We're just looking at a pattern. Even though I have been using other patterns to change this pattern without even being aware of it, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. And even though I have not yet touched my center, or at least I think I didn't, and even though I don't believe that there is or that there could be a center, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Now we're going to move into the points. It's going to be quite simple, so you can just keep your eyes closed if you want. And as you do, just stay aware of what's happening in your body and how all this feels to you. Observe all these reactions. And we're going to refer to this negative persistent state bothering you as this pattern. So let's start now with the eyebrow point. This pattern acting through me, side of the eye. I choose to release it into the consciousness. Under the eye, this pattern acting through me. Under the nose, I choose to release it into the consciousness. Please take a deep breath. On the chin, this pattern acting through me, on the collarbone, I choose to release it into the consciousness. Under the arm, this pattern acting through me. On top of the head, I choose to release it into the consciousness. Now back to the eyebrow point. Here and now, I release this pattern into the consciousness. Side of the eye. Here and now, in all security, I release this pattern into the consciousness. Under the eye. Here and now, easily and naturally, I release this pattern into the consciousness. Under the nose. Here and now, I release this pattern totally and completely into the consciousness. This pattern, which has nothing to do with me, I release it fully into the consciousness. Please take a deep breath. This pattern, which has been using me and acting through me, I release it fully into the consciousness. Take another deep breath. Here and now, I release fully and permanently, forever, totally, this pattern into the consciousness. On top of the head, here and now in all security, I fully and completely release this pattern into the consciousness. Now please take a deep breath and let's do one more round. On the eyebrow point. Here and now I connect to my center and I release this pattern into the consciousness. side of the eye. Here and now, I connect to my center and I release this pattern into the consciousness. Under the eye. Here and now, I connect to my center and I release this pattern into the consciousness. Under the nose. Here and now, I connect to my center and I release this pattern into the consciousness. Please take a deep breath. Here and now, I connect to my center and I release this pattern into the consciousness. Here and now, I connect to my center and I release this pattern into the consciousness. Say it and mean it. Feel it under the arm. Here and now, I connect to my center and I release this pattern into the consciousness. On top of the head. And I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Very good. Now take a deep breath, drink some water and observe how you're feeling now. And then rate again on a scale from 0 to 10 the intensity of the feeling you're having as you are thinking of this pattern. And if it hasn't changed much, repeat the tapping. You don't need to do the full session. Just by doing the rounds of the main points would be of a great help. And if you do it for a while, you will see how it works for you. And what would it take for you to really start to break through this pattern? And to start having a sense of being you beyond all of these patterns, to really touch this deep, natural sense of being. And this natural sense of joy and of pleasure of being here, in this world, in this body. And to allow the consciousness to shine through all of these patterns. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.